Hello, everybody. We're so happy to see you today. Oh my gosh. We have, hi. Hi.
Wait,
So
where
nice
you
to
going?
see you. I missed everybody last week. Am I gone?
Oh, you're glitching.
Or am I here?
Skynet's in the house.
Okay. So I feel like we should give everybody a fair warning that there's a hurricane barreling towards where I live. And so it shouldn't hit it till tomorrow, but we're getting some wind gusts, and so occasionally that will throw the power out. So if I disappear, that is why.
I will be the host now.
You will. That's all right. You're an awesome host. So there we go. All right. So let's say hi to everybody. Nihilistic. We have like small group today. I imagine because I didn't put the stuff up until late, so hopefully we'll see some of our regulars. Nihilist Geek is here. Hello, we're so glad you made it today. Yay! Sky is here. Hello, Sky. So glad to see you guys. Michael's here. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Oh my God. So glad you're here. Morgan's here. Hello. I love her avatar. Like, it's so like stunning. It's just gorgeous. I really do, Morgan. I love your avatar. I think it's so
your
pretty.
avatar is beautiful, just like you, Morgan.
Yes, exactly. Well, plus like there's something like she's already really pretty, but then you add like the kind of like pencil drawing look. Like it's just, every time I see it, I'm like, right, that's really cool. So anyway, hey Debbie, we're so glad to see you. Debbie says, sorry, cap lock was left on. We just thought you were super excited to be here today. Sky says, don't you hate it when that happens? That happens to me all the time. Sometimes I don't like realize it until I start typing characters because I think I'm doing numbers. So anyway. Morgan, you're welcome. Oh, thanks so much. So we have teeny tiny crowd today. We'll wait for everybody to sort of filter in. Here's what I want to know though, because, oh, thank you, Michael. That's really sweet of you. So who's doing NaNoWriMo this year? Because you are, Caro. Oh my gosh. So how is it going so far?
It's going okay. I'm trying to finish up CARROW'S Tarot, which is the book I'm writing about tarot cards. And I usually have to write it off the streams because once I get into the groove, if I get interrupted, I get exceptionally cranky.
Mm-hmm.
So actually on this stream, I'm going to be working on drawing one of the tarot card drafts because one of the things I'm doing is I basically hired somebody who's a much better artist than I am. I'm going to send him the cards and it's like, this is what they look like. Just fix what I didn't fix. And so he's going to go in there and do all that. But it's going really well. I'm probably going to finish. I'm going to finish early, as in I'm going to hit the word count, but I'm not going to be done with the book until the end of the month. So.
How long how long are you planning? Because it's nonfiction, obviously, right? So
yeah, so I'm kind of diving into like not just the card meetings, but I'm also talking about like the tarot community in general. Like I have a whole chapter dedicated to how not to get scammed by tarot readers. So, which I'm like, I think that's stuff that people need to know.
I think that's great.
Yeah, so I've got that, and then I've got like one section of the book where I talk about like if you have these cards in combination, you might be looking at a very strong chance of this thing happening. So I've got a little bit of that in there, and like I think it's probably what's going to happen is I'm going to finish it and I'm going to send it to some alpha readers, and I'm going to be like, where do I need to cut the fat at? Because with the card meetings themselves, I talk about the meaning. I talk about the symbolism in the card. I refer to the card as a person, a situation. And then I've got like little tidbits of stuff like stories that I have with the card because I'm kind of trying to hit like that multiple levels of learning. Because sometimes people remember stuff if it's a story, if it's a person, like all that other stuff. So it's going to be too big. That's my first thought.
Well, it's good to get it on paper and edit it down. I will say though, I know what I'm about to say. So I had been working on for a while. I had been working on the Quarantine Wit story, and I overwrote it by a lot, and by like double. and which is short for me. Okay, let's just say that. And I've been editing it down, and it's hard it's easier for me to cut from nonfiction for sure. And I usually write pretty lean anyway. Like I don't add a ton of superfluous stuff. And so now I'm to the point where I'm like trying to deconstruct it and figure out if I can take out like smaller, like storyline parts, which is different than just tightening it up. So it's a very unique, obviously the book will have been published for 15 years by the time I get it together, but you know, I now it's like it's personal. It's a challenge.
Ignore my children.
Well, they're just announcing our favorite co-host, Michelle. They're singing you a song, Michelle. Hey, we're so happy to see you today.
They want to talk to Michelle's dog. That's what it is. Like, we hear your dog.
Oh, yeah. So we were just talking about NaNoWriMo and overrating. And I want to know, like, oh, and Story Detective just popped in too. Boy, really? Dogs really do know everything. CARROW'S dogs just did like a big announcement. So before I just completely ramble on for 7 years, I feel like we should do a quick introduction for anybody who doesn't know who we are, and then we will talk to the chat about what everybody is working on, whether we're doing NaNoWriMo, whether we're not doing NaNoWriMo, whether we're an underwriter or an overwriter, and we'll get things rolling. So let's do our little intros really fast, and then we'll say hi to the chat and find out what everybody's working on. So you guys can be writing that, and let's do that. Okay, so I will start with Story Detective.
Well, that's my channel's name, The Story Detective, and it's there because we take everything story-oriented and analyze it like a detective and put it under the Sherlockian microscope and see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, and hopefully bring you a better understanding of craft. I also do tech reviews and whatever kind of catches my fancy.
That's good. That's very good. I love your channel. Who else is right now like 17 years behind on their YouTube videos as far as, yeah, exactly. Michelle, speaking of awesome YouTube videos that are on the list, tell us all about you and your channel.
All right. I am a middle grade and young adult author, and my YouTube channel is writing workshops and traditional publishing talk and writing vlogs, and coming this Friday, anxiety talk. This has been my life.
That is going. I'm so sorry. I feel your pain.
Everybody, right? I mean, we're all in this boat together.
It's true. It's good though to have that like solidarity. Yeah. I had like a full on. My birthday was on in quarantine time 17 years ago, or Monday. I can't remember. But my birthday was on Monday, and I literally woke up in the morning with like a full on panic attack.
Oh God.
Right. I know. Yeah. And I don't generally have, like, unless there's really something to panic over, I generally don't have panic attacks, but I just had this like kind of thing. And I don't generally like worry about my birthday or my age or any of that stuff. My mother is immortal, and she just like, she's been the same age for 30 years or 40 years, I think. So I don't tend to worry about that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't related to that, but I have no idea what brought that on. So, yay, Michelle. I think that a video about anxiety is probably going to really hit home with a lot of people. I think everybody's really feeling that, especially now, especially this week, especially now. Carrow Brown, the lovely and talented Carrow Brown. Tell us all about you and your beautiful channel.
Hi, my name is Carrow Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author in this company over here. We are currently open for submissions for the Unexpected Heroes Anthology. If you're interested in that, please feel free to poke me. I'm here today to work on the Three of Cups card, which way more complicated to draw than I really wanted it to be, but we're here now. And then on my channel, we discuss writing things, publishing things, and usually tarot things. So
I'm loving that you're adding a lot more of that in. I think that's really cool. So, hi, I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published author of contemporary romance and self-help dating advice. That's a fun combo. And yeah, on my channel, we talk about things that are related to writing and how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. Okay, and also, as I mentioned earlier, for those of you who are just coming in, I have a hurricane coming this way. So if the power goes out, it may not come back on for a while. You guys are on your own. I know you can manage this. Okay.
That was the last I ever saw, Lisa.
All right. So Morgan says, I'm supposed to be doing nano. I've only written like 3,000 words all month, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm going to decide what, like, I wasn't sure the first couple days of November, and now I think I am not going to do NaNoWriMo. But I'm going to do something different, and I'll tell you guys about that. CEO Savvy, hello.
Hey,
Hi, Daily. Hi, Daily Brown Detective Savvy Schusterman. Super stressed out with family drama in the animal house, but I'm forcing positivity.
That's very good of you. I was thinking about CEO this morning because I woke up thinking it was Tuesday, and I was like, I'm gonna go grab my taro taco shirt, and then Mr. Brown was like, babe, it's Wednesday. And I was like, no, it's my taco day. Oh.
You can still have tacos on Wednesday. It's just it's slightly less cool. Yeah. Look who's here.
It's like when your parents want to celebrate your birthday on the weekend and not on the day. It's like, that's not the same.
Right? Okay, so let me just tell you that all these shenanigans with the U.S. mail, you know, I mean, like the whole thing where there are votes that got slowed down and all this other stuff. Here's where the real tragedy lies. My birthday cookies that my mother sent to me from Denver, a whole day late. That's never happened in the history of me. It was very sad. Thank God they came yesterday. Okay. Devin's here. Hello, Devin. We're so glad you're here. What are you working on today? Let's hear it. Okay, Sky says, I'm an underwriter most of the time, but with this final edit, I'm discovering places where I added fluff, it seems. Let's go around. I'm generally an underwriter and have to add additional scenes. But on the short story, I, again, had no experience with this, and I definitely overwrote it by a lot. Caro, do you tend to be an overwriter or an underwriter?
Oh, I'm an overwriter. Like, the first time I got published, they said you have to cut 10,000 words from this manuscript because it was 120,000 words. So that would, but that's when I found out, like, about my crutch phrases and my crutch words and stuff like that. So that was a good learning experience.
That helps. That helps a lot. Michelle, overwriter, underwriter?
I used to be an overwriter, and I've morphed into an underwriter. It's just the process of, like, if you overwrite a first draft, then having to cut it down, like what Kara had to do. For me, it's so much more time consuming, that revision process, than if I underwrite it and then I just have to add. That's actually easier and faster for me. So I kind of like shifted myself to write more sparse first drafts.
I totally agree. I have always been an underwriter, and this, yeah, I agree. I have, like, vastly underestimated how much time it is taking to fix an overwrite. It's the first time I've ever done that. Story Detective, I know how you did with the short story. In general, overwrite or underwriter, do you think?
In general, exactly what Michelle said.
Yeah.
Overwriter, and I blew everything out of proportion, and I was cutting things down, and then I was still adding things to it, and it was a mess. And I kind of got the idea that I needed to be more sparse in my first draft and then add to it, fix things. There was less to cut out. It just worked better for me.
Yeah. I agree. So Sky says hello and waves to everybody. Okay, so Sky is a nano rebel working on editing, and then I'll be writing once I finish this editing. Good job. Very nice job. Georgie's here. Hi, Georgie. So glad to see you. Morgan says she considers herself an overwriter. I have lots of documents full of scenes that I had to cut from the final draft of my stories. Okay, that's a hard thing. So tell me this, whether you guys do this. if I ever have to cut scenes, I save them in a swipe file because sometimes I think, ooh, I might want to use that language later. Although I will say I almost never go back to it. Occasionally I'll go back and read it though, and I'll go, oh, that was funny, or oh, I like that. Yeah, because you never have the exact right scenario, but I still keep them just in case.
I started doing that. I was watching DVDs and the extras and the deleted scenes. That's what I need for my book, because you never know. There could be a special. You add some of that back.
Right.
Those could turn into an idea all on their own. So, yeah, I save them.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and there is something about, like, it's less stressful to go, oh, I'm saving these for something else than to just torch them, I think. Like, it's less traumatic to us. So,
well, and if you have a situation like I did where I had an editor who hated the love interest because he acted like a typical Marine, and she tells you to delete all those scenes, then when you get a different editor who says put it back.
Right. Because who doesn't love Marines? And guess what? Everybody, it's Veterans Day, so we should give a little round of applause to our favorite veteran, Carrow Brown. Yay! Thank you very much for your service and your awesomeness, honey. We love you.
You're most welcome. I am very excited to enjoy my free appetizer at Applebee's Day.
Will they give it to you if you just go to the curb? Like, hey, can you just throw those cheese fries in my mouth, please?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, at Applebee's, like, we barely go there. But if we, like, drove by there right now, there's already a line all the way out in the parking lot.
Everybody's just like, we want our appetizers. We want our appetizers. All right. Yeah. So, especially in Arizona, too. Novelist Allie. Hi, everybody. So glad I didn't miss this. Was working out. So glad you're working out. That is awesome.
Yeah, well done. Fitness care of.
Yes. No kidding. Yeah, definitely. C.S. Abby says Lisa's such a rule breaker. Tacos on Wednesday. I am. And Devin says the Cookie Gate scandal. Yes, that is exactly true. All right. So, Michelle, are you doing NaNoWriMo this year?
I did sign up for it, and I did plan on it. I did not. I wrote 3,000 words last Monday, and that was it. I just couldn't function the rest of the week. Like, it was over.
Yeah.
So this week, I'm kind of like reassessing. Like, I opened it yesterday. I worked on it a little bit. I don't know yet. I might be out.
Yeah.
I don't. My whole, like, my goal for this was to have fun and to write something that I wasn't trying to sell.
Right,
and
right.
If I'm not having fun, then I don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Anxiety has been too high for me to really enjoy it.
Right, right.
So this just wasn't the month for me, I think.
I totally get that. I totally get that.
This isn't the year for me.
No, Sky says, let's be real. Tacos are good any day of the week. That is true. Heather's here. Hey, Heather. We're so glad to see you. All right. Heather is in Tampa, so she also has the hurricane heading her direction. So stay safe, Heather. Bring your patio furniture in. Okay. So, Robert, what are you doing?
I'm going to be working on that big file of photos for my website still. I have a whole accessories and parts to get to, and there's that. Are you doing Nano this year or not? I'm using it like a NaNoWriMo to get done, get through these projects, because I do have moments where I'm working really great for a couple of days, and then the next couple of days I'll kind of hit these pitfalls. You know, like my cat was sick yesterday and little disasters pop up, and then afterwards you just don't seem to get it together as quickly as you normally do. So it's like,
yeah. Yeah, I totally feel that. I totally feel that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have decided I actually took a little inspiration from you, Robert. I have decided I'm not doing NaNoWriMo, but I had a list of stuff that I wanted to accomplish by the end of the year. And so what I've decided is that I will make an effort every day to try and work on that list and knock out a lot of the stuff that I wanted to take care of. And so that is what my goal will be for NaNoWriMo, which is not a traditional Nano goal. And I will support all of my friends who are also going to be doing NaNoWriMo. So So let's do a 5-minute warm-up sprint. I almost said a 5-minute warning sprint. I'm not sure where that came from. So we'll do a 5-minute warm-up sprint, and then we will come back. We'll talk about everybody's projects. Let us know what you guys are going to be working on, and we'll do that first. So here we go. Oh, do we want? I did. Now I can't remember which one. If this one has no sound or sound. I did 5-minute. I did a timer that has the ocean sounds, and I did one without the ocean sounds. But I don't remember which one this is. So whichever it is, it's only 5 minutes. Hope you love it. All right, here we go. Ready, everybody? Go. Ocean sounds. I can't help it. Even though I've heard that song, that little singer, like 53 times, it makes me so happy. All right. So, how did everybody do in our little warm up?
Good.
I just previously got my files set up to go, so I'm ready for the next one.
Yay! All right, fantastic. So we had like a whole conversation about tacos. Michael says, "Woohoo, Caro!" Tacos are good every day of the week. Novelist Allie, so over this hurricane season, right? It is November. Technically, hurricane season does go until November 30th, but generally you do not have any November hurricanes. So I like the fact that we are preparing for this is insane. Heather says, if we had a patio, we would. They're already getting so much rain. Devin's concerned that the patio blew away.
That depends sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Often that your patio's fine, but your pool cage is like down the street, so that's never good. CO Savvy, I think Michelle needs to visit Coney Island to gain some inspiration for her project or funnel cake. Either way, it's a win-win. Yes. All right.
You're muted, Michelle.
Oh, no. Hold on. That's my fault. Wait, say that again. Oh, no. Is it you? No, it's you.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I used to be able to get on the train and go to Coney Island, and I did it all the time. I miss it so much.
Oh.
Such a good beach.
Right? Plus, like, the vibe of Coney Island is just so cool, right? It's just, there's something, like, really awesome about it. Okay, Heather is working on some stuff before the kid gets home. I've got a bit more than an hour. Ooh, we had better get going then. Okay, CO Savvy, super excited about the ocean sounds. I don't know why, but silence makes my mind wander. However, that might be more of a me problem. Devin says it's just a breezeway. Laurel's excited. It just got here in time for the music. That's awesome. Nihilist Geek got 130 words. Yay!
Yay!
Novelist Alley, 42 words. Yay! That's awesome. Ooh, Morgan got 121, working on a blurb. Fantastic. Debbie, I know, right? Debbie, 121 in 5 minutes is pretty freaking phenomenal. Also 42 and 130, honestly. I wrote a tweet. Let people know we're here today, and mess around with some other stuff trying to get ready for the bigger sprint. Debbie folded some laundry and put it away. That is something I should be doing. But I have developed a new system where I take a laundry basket for every person, comes out of the dryer, goes in the laundry basket, fold your own. I'm loving it. Ooh, who was that?
That was Bones. He can't decide if he wants to make an appearance or not, but he is going to stick his cold nose right here.
Right there in your armpit. That's always nice. Sky looked at her document, danced to the end of the timer. That's all I'm saying. All right. Tina's here. Hey, Tina. We're so glad you made it today. All right. So I'm going to pull up the 20-minute timer. And in the meantime, why don't you guys talk about what you did during our big 5 minutes. Michelle, what did you do? I'm going to start with you.
I got a request this morning from a potential ghostwriting client.
Ooh.
So she had some questions about the process, and I'm just writing that response.
That is fantastic. Well, I have a question for you about that. Do you have you set up something that sort of explains the process?
I get most of my requests through Readsy, and on my profile, I have like my basic process outlined. But her case is a little special because she's written a draft and she wants somebody to rewrite it
to clean it up.
Not sure what's gonna what the issues are, so it's a little bit different.
I was about to say that sounds a lot more like a developmental edit. Yeah,
it's like a developmental edit before you do the actual rewriting.
That's kind of what I'm doing with these cards. I'm giving them to another artist and be like, I know these are fucked up. Fix them for me.
Yeah, right. I started it. So I think that's going to be a really interesting process. Have you done one like that before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. That's good. I know. I always find that is like sometimes they want kind of a rougher thing. Sometimes it's a lot more specific. But yeah, I think that's great. Cool. All right, Carol, what did you do?
I drew a profile, a profile of one of the characters' faces who I actually had not ever drawn before. So I was like, so this is what you look like. Okay, cool, we're here.
That's good. That's very good. Robert, what did you do?
I looked through my files. I got things set up. I'm almost finished with one section, so I'll be getting on to an easier section next, which is a good thing.
That is good. That's very good.
Yeah.
So Laurel says, I need to find some inspiration for my nano project. I have no idea what's happening next. Laurel, are you a plotter, pantser, planter? Like, are you starting working from an outline, or are you trying to kind of wing it to figure out what's happening next?
When in doubt, eat a taco.
Yep, that is always the truth. Heather got distracted by the chat. That happens to me all the time. And talked to the hubby. Also looked at the document. Always a plus. All right. So when we listen back from, listen back from Laurel, I am going to go ahead and pull up the 20-minute timer. And this time I'm going to give you guys a little more notice rather than just hitting the button and going, go. So
write your hearts out, my children. Write your hearts out.
That's right. See, there we go. That's good. All right, hold on. Let me make this like full screen so it doesn't look so crazy. Oh my gosh, it's going without us. Hold on.
It's like, it's like, did you know that it's nano? You need to start writing now.
Start writing, no stalling. I have no idea. Hold on, I'm going to stop this for a second. We're going to try this again. I have no idea if I left a little button checked for the audio. So we have a beginning and an end timer. Okay, here we go. All right. Dun, da, da. So going back and ready, here we go. Are we all ready? Who wants to do like the little run up to our exciting sprint?
It's time, everyone. It's time. We're going to do words. Look at your keyboard. Look at those keys. Don't let them intimidate you. You own this story. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Whenever the timer goes, go.
Okay, hold on, let me just make it stop, make it stop. All right. Oh my gosh. Seriously, I wonder if you have to, like, how many times you have to play that music for it to not make you go like that. Do a little cha-cha. All right. So how did everybody do? How did everybody do? Carol, how'd you do?
I drew 2 more faces, and I think all I have to do right now is just some of the scenery details, and then I'll be done with this card.
Awesome. All right. Michelle, how'd you do?
Good. I finished replying to that client, and now I'm working on an outline for another client, and I don't know how many words I added, but I untangled a little knot. So
that is sometimes like that feels better than just like an epic word count, right? Just like solving some, especially something that's been keeping you stuck for a while. And we're going to talk about that with Laurel because she's having a little problem. So we're going to try and come up with some good solutions for her. Story Detective, how'd you do?
Not bad. I'm just kind of getting into the rhythm, but
good. All right, I'm glad.
Pretty good round.
I did. I have no idea how many words that I did today in this last sprint, but I was very productive. I posted our little thing here today, so that's good. Finally, and I am working off of my epic to-do list, which is like this and this and. Yeah, I'm gonna get those 20. I don't know that I'll get all my 2020 goals done, but I'm gonna see what I can knock. All right, so Laurel is super pantsing her nano project, and she wants to know where to go next, right? And so we've all been in that spot where you don't know what's going to happen next in the story. For me, that's where the outline fixes it. But I also get that a lot of people just don't work that way. And so does anybody have any secrets, tips, or advice among you guys or anybody in the chat for how you can figure out where you're going next if you get lost?
Go take.
I have.
Go for a walk.
Yes.
Yeah, go for a walk.
Yeah, walk is good.
Yeah, definitely.
While you're on the walk and these ideas are flowing and you get back, start making a list. Because when you don't know where to go next, what I find is if you start making a list of all the typical ideas, get the stuff off the top of your head, when you write them down, even just a brief couple of words to get them out of your head, sometimes it'll take me 5, 10, 15 ideas, but then when I find that I'm struggling for the next one and I got rid of those things, the next one is the good one. But you have to kind of get rid of the garbage that's floating around that you see in all the movies. And
I think that's true. I think lists are magical. I really do. I think there's something. Caro's laughing. You know it's true, Caro.
I can't talk. Like this entire thing is nothing but a giant to-do list.
Yeah. So I think lists are magical when you're stressing, though. I know that, like, if I ever just feel like I'm just ruminating, where my brain is just won't stop. Often, if I write all that stuff down, that it gets to, like, it helps your brain sort of relax and solve the bigger problems, because then it's going like, okay, now I don't have, just like what you said, essentially, now I don't have to think about these 37 things. They're on paper. Nobody's going to forget them. And then your brain can go to solving the problem. So I think that is a great idea. I totally agree with the walk too, because for me, it always clears my head. I know, and I think we talked about this before. There have been a number of really fascinating studies that have shown that that walking enhances creativity. So even if you can just go for like a 10-minute brisk walk, that can really help.
In Japan, they encourage you to go and take a walk, and I can't remember the Japanese phrase for it, but it's called an air bath. So you go out and you spend some time outside, and they say it's anywhere between like 5 and like 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the literal translation.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so Nihilist Geek says pull a tarot card as a prompt. Yes. I know Carrow does that. I know Story Detective does that. I think that's good. Sako does that. I think she said that a couple times ago on a live stream. Yeah, that's a great idea because you have this, like, it's open enough where it can apply to a variety of different situations, but it also gives some direction for a place to go. I love that. Okay.
I have a workshop thing that you can do actually that usually helps my students with this. Write, I think we used to call it like a never scene or a forbidden scene. Like write a scene that will never ever actually be in your book. Do something crazy, write it from a different character's point of view, change the genre, make it just something completely out there and have fun with it. And at some point in there, you're probably going to have a little breakthrough on what actually needs to happen next.
Mm-hmm. That whole writer emergency kit deck, I actually have it, but that's literally what that deck is for. It just pulls out of situations like your main character is now the villain. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
There's a lot of writing decks out there, and I have several myself. But sometimes you need to stop thinking about it because you have too much going through your head and you're forcing it and it becomes a knot. Mm-hmm. And I remember reading in, I think it was Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg that said she did like a walking meditation where she didn't think of anything but walking slowly and feeling the pressure of her feet, taking each step.
Mindful step, yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, I think it also, for me, it often helps if I go to a completely different scene. So you just, right? Because often you have something in your head that I sometimes find that I, like when I'm sort of stuck in one scene, it's because my brain really wants to jump ahead and write another scene. And sometimes once you get that out, then the one that you were struggling with sort of just, flows out a lot more easily. All right, so Sky says, yeah. Sorry, I just interrupted you. You said you've done that too, Carrow?
Yeah, but for me, it's like I have to start writing another book in the series for me to get over the hump that I have right now.
You series authors and all your I would be so I think I'd be lost if I tried to do that. I'm fascinated by that. I really am. Okay, so I just said that. So Sky has story cubes that I use, but they're still packed up. Is that like you roll a die and they pop up like somebody died? Da 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 da. I do have. It's too far away. I do have one of those old school Rolodexes, like the round ones that like a 1962 detective would have on his desk or her desk. And it has all kinds of weird little things. Like there was, like someone was betrayed or do a reversal in this scene or surprise where I have to come up with some surprise. And it's the same thing. Like it's just something that sort of throws a wrench in it. You start thinking about that issue and then the other one either resolves itself or you give it enough space. Okay. Here's the other thing I do when I'm stuck. I take a shower or go to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something magical about moving water. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Okay. So, hi, JC. So glad to see you. Wait, I came in when writing decks were mentioned. What is this writing necessity that you speak of?
I have it. Let me go grab
it. All right. Yes. Thank you, Carol. Okay.
Here's one of my called the deck. This is actually quick. Another one for quick problem solutions is the Creative Whack Pack. It's cards with little sayings on the cards, and they take your imagination not so much in the direction of the story, but to make you think differently. And sometimes that can really open you up to a lot of different things.
I love that idea. Hold on, Carol. I'm going to make you big. All
so
right.
This is the Writer Emergency Pack. I bought it like 2 years ago, and I also had it as a prize in a giveaway that nobody came to claim. But anyway, moving on. And it just has a whole bunch of different scenarios in here where you can basically just kind of do a random thing. So like you have a cause and effect. Everything that happens for a reason, usually the reason should be your hero. Look for ways that he can take the reins in the story is like on one side. And then on the other, it gives you like some examples of things that you can do. Talk through.
Uh-oh. Hey, Kara, you muted. You just muted.
Yeah, there was a blip in there.
All right, we're going to go back.
That was my dog. She decided that she was
Dawdling Writer says, I have the emergency pack too. Okay, go ahead, Caro. Sorry, go ahead.
Where was I? I don't know what you guys last heard.
You would just flip the card over.
Oh, okay. So then on the other side, it's got a couple of exercises that you can do. So one is talk through your story, replacing and then with because, and how does your story change?
Mm-hmm. I love that. I think that's fantastic. I think basically my magical Rolodex is essentially the same thing, although not as detailed. It just has like some kind of random, little pieces of advice. JC says, nice. Can I find them on Amazon? Where did you guys get them? Yes. Fantastic. Sako says, that's amazing. Story Detective. The Writer Emergency Pack is good. It's been on my wish list for a while. Oh, if you get Sako for Secret Santa this year, you know what to get her. All right. All right, that's good. Sky likes the walk idea. Make sure you have a notepad or a voice recorder with you in case you come up with an idea. You can jot it down. I use my phone for that. Like I have the little voice recorder. Dawdling Right. I'm kind of like flipping around. So if I do you twice or not at all, I apologize. Dawdling Writer's been using the characters on the tarot to fill up my character cast as well as to give me ideas about setting. I love that. Heather says all these ideas sound great. Yay. Glad. Sky says they're called Rory's Story Cubes. I think they're meant for kids, but I love them. You know what? Pop-Tarts are meant for kids too. That's all I'm saying. All right. I love that. Go ahead.
This one says when you're looking for new ideas, it says look somewhere else. Finding new ideas is like prospecting for gold. If you look in the same old places, you'll find tapped veins. But if you venture off the beaten path, you'll improve your chances of discovering new ideas. Remember, you can't see the good ideas behind you looking twice as hard at what's in front of you. Where else can you look?
Nice. All right, I love that. CB394, welcome, by the way. I think I've StreamYard jumped, so I'm way past where you came in, but I said hi to you on the actual sprint. Welcome, and we don't care if you're not an expert. It's all right. All kinds of ideas come from amazing different places. Suggestion, have your character do something they wouldn't usually do, take a dance class, take an art class. I think that's great. I think that's great. There's always, doing something different. Essentially just what Robert said and what Caro said in a different way and what Michelle said in a different way is this idea of kind of taking yourself out of where you are, whether that's physically or mentally, in order to, find some new inspiration. Love it. You guys are so smart. All right. Ooh. Okay. Fun fact from Sakotumi. Did you know that the Royals and Tarot are based on Jungian personality types? I did not know that. You guys knew that?
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought that Tarot would be older.
So Tarot actually came into existence in the 1400s. It was a game that was played in Italy, and it was a very expensive game because card makers weren't really an abundant thing. So for you to play it, you obviously had to afford it. And it was played in teams of 2 or more with 2 people on each team. It was basically a kind of round robin kind of trump point system game. So
I think that's really cool. I was just wondering, like, hey, did Jung steal his ideas from tarot cards? Like that was literally the first thing that popped into my head.
I got into it once with a tarot enthusiast because they were like, well, tarot is like the oldest card game ever, and I was like, actually, that goes to the Chinese. Chinese had the oldest card game ever.
Let's just face it, the Chinese invented paper, and pretty much this is like a society that's thousands and thousands of years old. Pretty much everything was a Chinese something first, right? They invented a lot of stuff,
including the plague. Well done.
Now we're we're on such a happy roll now. Let's not talk about any sad stuff. We're going to talk
Silk
about
Road, anyone?
we're gonna do another 20-minute sprint. Let me just make sure I've got my timer backed up here. Yes. All right, here we go. All right, so 20 minutes. We're gonna do another 20 minutes. Does anybody else want to give us a pep talk, or should we ask Carol to do it again because she did such an amazing, right?
I only did it once. No, it's a one-time deal every stream. I gotta share the mic. I can't be greedy.
All right, Robert, it's your turn. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. You do your thing, and then I'll hit the magical button. All right.
Okay, so like the card says, put your mind in a different perspective. Think outside the box. Look at something that you haven't looked at, whether it's outside your window, in your room. Open a book at random and look at a word. Just look at a dictionary, run your finger down the page and try to find a word. Think about what the possibilities of that might be and how it may fit into your story. If you're looking for ideas, let's go and do it in. Ready?
I jumped the gun, Robert.
3, 2, 1, go! Everybody run!
I'm sorry. here we go. All right. Yay, we got it. Okay, Caro, you're still muted. Okay, how'd everybody do? Let's see, Michelle, let's start with you. How'd you do today?
Good. Added a little more to the outline. A couple hundred words. I'm not sure how many.
Awesome.
I think you froze, Lisa.
Oh no. Did I come back?
You're kind of back.
It occurred to me. It occurred to me after I went like that if I unfroze and froze, then you might get like that. So pretty, so pretty. So I know I do feel like it's kind of glitchy. I'm another friend of mine who's a little bit farther south where she's getting it first. She said that they've had like some flickers with their electricity. Ours is underground here, like where I live, and so generally it's not too terrible. But yeah, Heather, how are you holding up? Okay, so Caro, how about you?
I'm pretty much done with this. I'm just kind of adding in some final details and whatnot, but I don't need to get much more than what I've done right now. So
that's good. I am feeling uber productive. I got several things checked off of my big goal list, so I'm very excited about that. It is funny sometimes how like you have stuff kind of hanging over your head, but then when you actually sit down to do it, you spent way more time worrying about it not being done than it actually takes to do it. Shocking. It's shocking. All right. We had some interesting comments in the chat, and I want to know how you guys did. So let me know. So Sky said, before we moved, my husband was starting to get into rune stones. They're packed up with everything else, so we'll have to wait until we moved and are settled again. I feel like, isn't that something that you guys do, Robert and Caro? Yeah.
I do, and they're great for characters.
Yeah.
We talk about the inner workings and psychology, and you can definitely relate that to a lot of characters.
I am fascinated. I don't know very much about them. For anybody else who is like me, can you explain a little bit about what they're about?
Well, they're from the Vikings, and basically each symbol has a different meaning for life. There's like arrow, there's positive and negative, so you can look at both and see which traits would go better in a particular hero or one or whatever. But they give a lot of different food for thought in terms of any situation that you can put yourself or your character in. They almost apply universally, so they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. Very cool. So Nihilist Geek got 407 words. That's awesome. And less headbanging this time around. That is very nice. Debbie has installed a new doorknob and got 10 words. I'm impressed by the multitasking. Our ice maker, like in our refrigerator, sprung the hose in the back that brings the water up to the ice, it's like to make it ice, sprung a leak. And I did not want to have like a person in the house because I'm still paranoid. And I fixed it all by myself. I found a YouTube video, I ordered the part, and I fixed it. So if anyone needs refrigerator repair after the pandemic and this whole writing thing doesn't work out for me, just keep me in mind. Okay. Oh my gosh. CB394 got 349 words.
Hold on.
Nice. Fantastic. Oh, I was like, wait, our relationship is over. What? No, I'm still good. Okay, Tony, I really don't know how to tell you this except to come out and tell you our relationship is over. It's just not working out between us. Just not working between us. I'm sorry. I don't see how we could make it out. I can't read today. I'm sorry. I don't see how we can make it work. Pepper. Nice. Okay, now we're all like, what's going to happen with Tony and Pepper? All right. Tina got 100. Very nice. Tina got 100 words. Now, everybody's going to be like, what's going on with that? All right. Tina's got 100 words. Yay. Laurel, 200. My MC is starving and hallucinating good times. Let me just say this. Like, I tend to snack when I'm writing. So I would feel really bad about snacking, like eating Oreos while simultaneously writing about a character who is starving. I'd still do it, but I would feel really bad about it. Okay. CB is writing the fake letters chapter. Heather says, did research on tone for this project, just a few words, and I'm just waiting for my guys to get home. That's so sweet. All right, we currently have just steady rain, but we're supposed to get high winds this evening and tomorrow. I think the hurricane officially hits tomorrow morning, but you get like the worst of it, you know, kind of leading up and coming down. Okay. Yes, they did. So you guys, for any of you who don't know, which is probably everybody, the Sunshine Skyway is like this beautiful bridge that goes across the bay, and it's like one of those like this gigantic long stretch of a bridge, and it goes really high. So even if there's a little breeze when you're driving on that, you know, it's like this. So with hurricane winds, yeah, not good. Jonathan, we're so happy to see you. First time doing Nano. I'm hyped. Oh, I'm so excited for you. That is awesome. Jonathan, what kind of progress are you making? How are you so far on your Nano word count? Are you making it? Are you like falling behind? Are you good? We want to know. Tell us. Let us know all about it. Turns out letters weren't actually sent by Tony and Pepper. Ooh, intrigue. All right. I know, right? Morgan says, if you're a writing playlist person, yes. What type of music do you tend to include? I love all genres of music, but I don't listen to as much as I used to, so I feel out of touch. That's a really good question for Morgan. Caro, do you want to go first?
I usually make playlists based on characters, like how they feel, and sometimes relationships between two characters. On my channel, I have a couple of playlists. So like Silences, Jams are on there, which are all actually love songs. But if you know that they're him talking to ghosts, they're all like creepy as AF. And then it's kind of like a fun thought experiment. So like when I made Ghost's playlist, because she's so old, like her music taste is like all over the place. She's got songs from like, you know, the 1950s that she really likes, and like some mashups and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's a fun thing to do.
I think it is too. I definitely write for, I definitely choose musical selections for mood to really set the mood of the scene. Like if I were scoring a movie, and I tend to listen to that same song over and over and over and over again while I'm writing, because otherwise I'll get distracted with it. Like I could not write to like a whole playlist. I will write a scene to a song that is on repeat until it just goes into the background. But the great thing about doing that is that when you pick the scene up the next day, you get right back into it. It's like that music just cues you to get back into that scene. How about you, Michelle? What do you, playlist, no playlist?
I'm not as much of a playlist person as I am. I like putting on ambiance stuff on YouTube, like just kind of background noise, like working in a library or during quarantine, working in a cafe, just like that kind of bustling noise in the background. If I listen to music, I look up usually like instrumental movie soundtracks and stuff like that.
Yeah. I like Lo-Fi and Two Steps from Hell. Those are, Two Steps from Hell is like this movie theatrical composition. And the funny thing about it is I came across that group like before like it got hit really big, and then the moment I had listened to all their songs, anytime I heard a movie trailer, I'm like, man, they couldn't even make their own freaking music for this trailer. They had to use something already pre-made.
That's crazy. How about you, Robert?
I'm not so much a playlist person. I do have the occasional song, like you said, that I play multiple times. And since I like theme albums, occasionally I'll get an album that will fit the story pretty well. Mostly when I do music, it is background stuff, and I put something on that's going to have enough change and enough interest to be playing and not stay at the same level. I like a lot of rock, sometimes heavy, sometimes more melodic. UK rock bands, just because they pick up where we left off when we were actually doing rock, but they take it a step further and do progressive things with it. So they have a lot of changes that I find quite helpful.
That's cool. I do also listen to ocean sounds a lot because before the, in my pre-pandemic life, I wrote at the beach. And so I find that like a good way to like get me right into that. It's not the same quite, but it's close. It's closer. So Nihilist Geek has 930 words for the day. What? And has some work stuff to do now. Nihilist Geek, I'm impressed. You did a really nice job, buddy. All right. Bonnie Phillips, just getting started. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. John, you guys be tall. Jonathan, I wish there was like a way to like scoosh this up. Okay, so Jonathan is making it on Nano. I pushed hard for the first few days because I fell ill. So I was nervous, but I'm doing good with word count. A little behind, but I feel good today. I'll catch up and surpass. Yeah, look at
That's
you.
a great mindset.
Look at this. 16K. Yay!
Nice.
That is awesome. That is super awesome. Oh, and StreamYard jumped. Okay, Nihilist Geek says, I listen to a lot of dark synth and synthwave at the moment. Have a list of writing musics on my channel. Cool, you guys should check that out.
That's Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown listens to so much synthwave. Like, if we get in the car and go somewhere, it's like, nee, nee, and it's like, freaking 1980s horror movie moment. I'm just waiting for, like, the haunted car to chase me down the road.
Or the zombie in the back seat. Eating its way through the, upholstery. Yeah. Now I'm going to have that visual all day. Okay. CV has a focus playlist for Nano. It mostly has hymns, Handel's Messiah, film soundtracks on it, a couple of Bon Jovi songs. Okay. Any playlist that has Messiah and Bon Jovi is too freaking badass. That is awesome. I love them a little bit of AC/DC and some Hannah Montana. Okay, you have the same. You have this. I love like that whole like crazy mix. Hi puppies. The soundtracks are from the NCU. Love that. That's good. Very cool. They do a nice job with their soundtracks, I think. Calming Art Studio vlogs forever. All right, good job. Carol, yes, I have a bunch of those open. Cool. Sky says, I don't usually make playlists, but I have chosen a song here or there for specific characters. That said, I have a playlist that started because the songs resonate with things I wanted to have happen in a future story, so it's more of a reminder. I love that. That's a great idea. All right. Ooh, this is cool. Morgan says, I listened to a new song yesterday, saw the whole climatic scene for the end of my book play out in my head. Wow. That is amazing. Oh my gosh, that's totally amazing. Fantastic. Oh, Sky listens to fireplace sounds in the fall and winter, and thunderstorms puts her to sleep. That would put me to sleep too. Is that the best time to take a nap? When it's raining? Yes, agree. I disagree with myself. It's been a hard week, you guys. Okay. Jonathan currently writing a chapter dealing with the creation of a forest race, so I'm listening a lot to Adrienne von Ziegler. I wish that DAL were here with us today because she is like all about the music. She knows like so many bands and musicians that I like are completely out of my realm. Also made a playlist of songs about the main pairing in my story, Pepper Potts, Tony Stark. Love it. That's awesome. All right. This is fantastic. So we have, hold on, Heather's got a comment. Sometimes I use ASMR watercolor videos for relaxing or writing. Laurel, because Laurel said she liked Art Studio. Have you guys, so I did, one of the things that I did a lot, I listened to a lot when I was working on Single-Minded was binaural beats underneath ocean sounds. And I posted a video, and when I posted it, I have not really gone back. I've answered comments, but I haven't really gone back to see. Have anybody else ever used anything like that?
I love those binaural beats.
binaural beats.
I always want to say biannual.
Well, it looks like biannual beats.
It does.
Yeah, it looks like biannual beats. Sky says Doll shares songs all the time. It always surprises me when she shares one I grew up with but haven't listened to in forever. Yes, yes. Okay, I think this is great. All right, you guys, it's 12:45 where I am. It's 15 minutes before we would normally end. So we have two choices here. We can either do like a 10-minute sprint and say our goodbyes, or we could keep up with the chit chat. It's up to you guys. I know we're in the middle of NaNoWriMo and everybody wants to write. Heather says yes to binaural beats. All right, you guys, give us some feedback in the chat about whether or not we should do a 10-minute sprint before we go. I'm going to go find the 10-minute timer.
Yeah.
And
sounds good.
Can we do that? We'll do one last. I feel like we got to get all of our sprints in that we possibly can for our folks who are doing our NaNoWriMo, trying to get their word counts in. We want to do that. Okay, I've got it. All right. Anybody else? Yes. Very, very chit chat. Yes. Binaural beats. Slow. Yes. 10 minutes. Sprint, please. Okay. Here we go. We are going to hit it with a 10-minute sprint.
Right.
The people have spoken. All right. There's that. Sharing the audio. Here we go. All right, everybody. I will do this one. You guys are awesome. This is going to be short because we have got to get our writing done. So thanks so much. Get your little fingers ready and let's do a 10-minute sprint. Here we go. Okay. I have to get rid of all my beach timers. There we go. All right, fantastic. All right, look at us cramming in sprints till the very last second. Well, how'd everybody do? Overall, pretty good. Chat family, how did you guys do?
Well. This was a good jump start.
Yay, I'm so glad to hear that. Very good. I have not been productive at all in the last week. Like, it's just been, it might as well have not existed for me the whole week, right? Michelle, too. Yeah, I just nothing. Like, every day there's been some, not even just like, oh, that's inconvenient, but like just some major horrible thing that's happened. So yeah, so this was so nice, you guys. I really needed to hang out with you guys today, so I'm very glad you were here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, Michelle. I'm glad you did Story Detective. Caro, how'd you do?
I finished that last card, so I moved on to the Ace of Wands, and I'm figuring it out.
That's good. That's very good. Kelly said just started and got 241. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much, Kelly. You're new. I'm so glad you made it here today. Awesome. Laurel, 122 words if I'm counting from the right place. Very, very nice. Love it.
Good.
Bonnie got 184. Yay. Fantastic. Sky says I can tell I'm near the end. I keep procrastinating instead of working. That's funny. I procrastinate in the middle. I procrastinate in the middle. I am like gangbusters at the beginning. I procrastinate a little in the middle. And then once I hit my 80% mark, which for me is right around 56, 58, 60,000 words, I like fly through to the end usually. So how about you? When do you procrastinate, Michelle?
When do I procrastinate?
Yeah, when in the book?
The middle. The middle, like either right before the midpoint or right after, because I usually have something fun planned for the midpoint.
Yeah.
Like right before it or right after it is when I'm like, right after it. Because then I'm like, oh, the end is still so far away.
Yes, there's something to that. What about you, Robert? When do you procrastinate?
The same. It's usually the middle, and it will be right after the midpoint because you're getting into part of the story where it's a little you're crossing the second half of that desert, and sometimes I have a very clear idea of what I'm doing, and then other times I want to make sure it's good, and maybe I think too much about it, and then I end up procrastinating and thinking and just not writing.
Well, that's like where you start to lose steam from the excitement, and you're not quite towards the excitement roller coaster of the end. And so it's it's like a natural kind of thing. How about you, Caro? Caro probably never procrastinates in the middle of a book. When do you procrastinate?
When I get thrown off my groove. So for example, when I was writing King of Pucks, which is the follow-up book to Queen of Swords and Silence, I got to the 80% mark. And then I had a fight with my publisher, and then it's just kind of, it's literally sat there for 8 months.
I was all excited for a second. I thought, are we going to have a follow-up to Queen of Swords and Silence? Do we know? We don't know yet.
Well, no, well, I mean, Ten of Brownies is coming out for sure in 2021. That's happening. And then while that's going through the editing process, I'm going to finish up King of Pucks and move on with my life. But yeah, that's when I procrastinate. When drama happens and I have a lot of infighting going on in my life, I can't write. And then getting back on the horse, that's really hard for me to do.
Right? The horse is the worst.
Yeah.
The damn horse. All right. Sako says the hurricane might keep me in Florida for another day. I'm sorry, Sako. We're glad you're here, but also I'm sorry if you're stuck longer than you want to be. Heather did some more research, changed the heading. The boys had already left for the drive-through, had quiet, so that was great. Yay! Fantastic. Tina says, thank you all. Hugs. I'm so glad that you were here today, Tina. You're new to the stream, and so I'm like really thrilled that you stopped by. You'll come back. We're here every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. JC says, so glad I stumbled onto this stream today. Yay, thank you.
Yay.
We'll send out the chat. You all learned some new things, got some inspiration, feeling good about the day now. What? Yay. JC, I hope you will come back. You are awesome. Thank you so much.
JC
All right.
is very awesome. Yes.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think that's fantastic. I feel like I've seen JC in other places, like maybe your stream, Carol, or Austin's stream. Are you in Austin's stream sometimes? Maybe.
JC's a very, yeah, JC's a welcomed regular. Very welcome.
Well, I'm so welcome. I'm glad you came here today. All right, Bonnie says, I think my procrastination comes in the form of editing. I can see that. I can see that. Heather says, yes, the midpoint. Sako, third plot point, always the hardest for me. Sky says, thank you for the sprints. Glad I made it. I usually miss it. Glad adds to phone calendar. Thank you very much for adding it. I know sometimes the little notification bell works. Sometimes it doesn't. Georgie, thank you so much for being here today. Sako says thank you. Thank you all for being here today. You guys make this totally awesome. Before we go, I want to say bye to everybody. Carol Brown, can you tell us a little about you before we go?
Yes, my name is Carol Brown. I'm an urban fantasy owner. What? No. I'm a fantasy author and the owner of Mad Raptor Productions. We currently have an open submission for an anthology called Unexpected Heroes. If you want to check out more about that, I should probably put a link in the comments, and I'll grab that real quick. I came here today to work on some tarot cards, and I got 2 done in this sprint, and I'm very happy, or not sprint, this session. And I always enjoy it, spending time with you wonderful people, and thanks for letting me be here.
Thank you for being here. It is not the same when you are not, on the occasions when we let you out into the world and off the stream. It is not the same. We always miss you.
Where's our sardonic personality at?
Yes. Will you put that in the private chat too? Put the link in the private chat, and I'll stick it down in the description. All right. So Sako says, thank you for the sprints. JC says, I always seem to miss Austin streams, but I love Tamara sprint maybe. Caro, Tamara, Dana. So I'm at all theirs. That's where that's where I know you from. Okay. Fantastic. Ditto. Oh my gosh, if you ever do make it to Austin sprint, it's like the most relaxing, soothing thing you've ever done in your life. Like, right? I mean, it's incredible. Dawdling Rider just started streaming. So if you are looking for another stream, head over there. I'm going to say bye. Thank you. Michelle, tell us about you.
Oh, great. My name is Michelle. I'm a young adult and middle grade writer. My YouTube channel is Writing Workshops, Traditional Publishing Chat, and Writing Vlogs. And thank you, Lisa. I needed this little bit of sanity and like doing something other than reading the news today. This was very helpful in getting me back to the headspace.
Thank you for the exact same reason. I needed this, and you guys like so much today. I am just so incredibly grateful. So back at you, baby. Thank you. Robert, tell us all about you.
Well, my channel is The Story Detective, and we look at all things story-oriented in a detective-type manner, put it under the Sherlockian microscope, and sort out the good and the bad, so hopefully craft will make more sense to you guys. I do tech reviews and working on some other things, which will be coming shortly, and back to videos shortly as well. This year, I just feel like hibernating through the rest of it and picking up again in 2021. But, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. Well, your craft videos are awesome. We all love them. I'm Lisa Daly. Thank you both so much for being here today. I'm a traditionally published author, and on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. Blah. All right.
Say that 3 times fast.
I know. CEO Savvy, we love you. Thank you so much. Laurel, I'm so glad that that we gave you a little inspo today. I'm super proud of that. You guys are awesome. You're the reason we're here today, and I'm so glad that we were. Thank you, everybody. Carol sent me the link, and I'm going to put it down in the description in case you are wondering. And I'm going to do it right now so I do not forget. All right, everybody. Bye. Thanks for being here today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.